Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Let's start with today's stories. Am I the idiot for telling my mom that I will respect my dad's girlfriend more than my stepdad? Backstory. My 17 female mom, 45 female, cheated on my dad, 46 male, 7 years ago with my stepdad, Alan, 50 male. I was 10 at that time. I knew that my mom had another boyfriend that made them get a divorce. My dad was devastated to say the least. My dad fought hard to get custody from my mom, because he did not want to lose me at all. He did end up getting 50-50. Ever since my parents' divorce, I hated my mom. I hated that she hurt my dad. I remember my dad drinking himself to sleep after the divorce. I was 11 and had to push him out of the couch and clean his vomit. I saw what my mom did to my dad, and my stepdad was also to blame for it. Eventually, my dad did clean up and started to make changes in his life, and became a good father figure for me. But he still suffered from the aftermath of my mom's infidelity. He was finally in a better place now. He has worked enough to build a relationship with me too. Suffice to say, the relationship I had with my mom never recovered. I hated going to her place and watch her play family with some random guy. She never made an effort to keep our family together, yet she happily became the loving wife to him. I hated him too. My mom tried really hard to make me forgive her. She said sorry and apologized. I never missed a chance to remind her that she was the one who broke my family. It makes her cry that her own daughter wants nothing to do with her, but I didn't care. I would lock myself in my room the entire time and not come out. I was always loud and clear that I don't like my stepdad, even though he also tried to make it up to me. Any gift he would give me, I would just give it away. Last year, my mom, Alan, and I had a huge fight. I called my mom a cheating floozy who destroyed my family. I also called Alan a homewrecker and said, I hope your own son gets cheated on, so that you know what the pain is like. Alan screamed at me that he is tired of my shit. I left their house and went to stay with Dad. I thought it was so unfair that my mom lives happily ever after, and my dad was left behind to pick up the pieces of our broken home. That's when my dad sat me down and told me that I should have never talked to my mom like that. Sure, she made a bad choice, but she is still my mother. And then he told me he forgave her, and it is for the best that I forgive her, because it will make me free. My dad went on to explain that in his therapy, he realized his marriage had problems. He thought that just because everything was going on a routine and there was silence, he took it as a sign that everything was fine. However, he learned a lot about relationships and himself over the last 7 years, and has tried to become someone I could look up to. He tells me he is dating someone else, and he is happy with the life he has now, though there are some triggers. I was happy to hear that my dad was doing okay. And it made me realize I was being irrational. I am still mad at Mom, but I decided to give her a chance. I said sorry to both my mom and stepdad. I also said sorry to my stepbrother and my half-brother. Things have been calm and cool for a while. I met my dad's girlfriend. She seems awesome. She has 2 kids who are under 10. Though she is much younger than my dad, I didn't care. As long as Dad is happy, I am happy for him. So, a few days ago, I was chatting with my mom. I brought up the fact that I met my dad's girlfriend this week and she seems nice. My mom's expression changes. She went from having a smile to frown. She says, I didn't know your dad was dating. I said, I didn't either, but my dad is taking things slow. I told her she is really nice and cool. My mom then lashed out and called me a hypocrite. She said that for years, stepdad and her had been trying hard to make me forgive them. They went out of their ways to make it right. And I still didn't accept them. But I accepted my dad's girlfriend in a heartbeat, and suddenly she is this cool step-parent. I was angry too, so I blurted out, at least she didn't cheat on my dad like you. I also said that I would never accept my stepdad as a good human, because he is the reason why I grew up in a broken family. That I do not owe them anything after how they treated my dad. I respect my dad's girlfriend more than I respect them, because at least she didn't cheat on him and left him to pick up the broken pieces of our family. In fact, she is the reason why Dad is happy now, and she will always be above my stepdad. I stormed out and stayed with friends. I know I shouldn't have said that. I mean, firstly, my dad and his girlfriend have only been dating for 6 months. My mom and dad were married for 13 years. And I felt like I oversold their relationship to Mom. But I feel like an a-hole for how I worded it. OP also say this in the comments. I feel like I oversold my dad's new relationship to her to make her feel bad. I mean, I don't know if my dad and his girlfriend will last forever or that she will not cheat on him later in life. My dad said it is important for me to maintain a relationship with Mom. He thinks every child should have a mom. I don't go there often now. I mostly live with Dad. But my dad insists I go there and build a relationship. A part of me always wished my stepdad would cheat and leave my mom, so she came back to us. The fact that she got no karma for what she did really messed me up. My mom has always tried to force a relationship between her affair partner and me. That only made me hate him even more. I have been in therapy since I was 14. I guess I should go back again. I get that marriage and relationship have problems. To be honest, if they split amicably, I wouldn't have had this reaction. Okay, the short and direct answer, you're not the idiot OP. You may have been a bit blunt and harsh, but you were only because of how she acted. Besides, you were real with your mom. I get that she is frustrated that you haven't accepted her and your stepfather's relationship to this day, while you seem very happy with your dad's new relationship. But what did she expect? It wasn't them, your dad and girlfriend, who destroyed your family. Your mom and stepdad cheating hurt you deeply, not just your dad, and they know this very well. Seeing how the cheating affected your dad only increased the resentment you had towards them. And because of that, unfortunately, you weren't able to have the best relationship with them. It sucks, but I understand. Also, what you said to your mom has nothing to do with whether your father's relationship with his new girlfriend will work out or not. Because no matter how many girlfriends your dad has from now on, even if they have bad breakups, you will never feel that deep resentment towards any of them, like you do towards your stepfather. Your parents' separation hurt you a lot, as it would for any child, but the fact that their divorce came due to your mom's betrayal made it worse. I'm so sorry OP. And no child should see someone they love in that situation that your dad was in, and to make it worse, knowing that all this pain was caused by someone else you also love so much. Cheating sucks, and not only hurts the partner, spouse of the person who cheated, but also everyone involved, especially children. But please OP, go back to therapy, you still need to work on your anger and your pain. You are still hurt by them. And I'm not saying this so you can have a good relationship with your mom and stepfather, if you want that's your choice, but for you. So that these feelings don't consume you and continue to hurt you. And what is your guys' opinion on this situation? What would you do if you were OP? Have you ever been through something similar? Now let's read some comments before going to the updates. Not the idiot. Actions have consequences, and your mom was wrong to end the marriage the way she did. I have no empathy for her or her husband. That said, given your animosity towards your mom and her husband, I am curious as to why you are over at their house. At 17, you are of an age where you can choose what parent you want to live with. Why would you willingly subject yourself to such anger-filled encounters with two people you despise? This is not a healthy environment for you and especially for the other kids living there. That is their home. Those are their parents, and they don't deserve to have their home turned into a war zone by you, when you could just stay away. Not the idiot. She hurt you and her actions destroyed the relationship between your dad and her. Not the idiot. What everybody seems to be forgetting is a divorce is not just between the spouses, it's between everyone else who has a relationship with them as a couple, especially children. Your mom did not just betray your dad, she betrayed you and has not made genuine attempts to address it. You are well within your rights to not have the same relationship with her as you do your dad. It's something you may never move past, and you do not have to until you're ready. Not the idiot. She's got a lot of cojones to compare a legally single man for nearly a decade seeing a consenting adult to stepping out of marriage and a family. They aren't remotely the same thing, and the fact that she drew that comparison makes any apology she's offered to you a fairly hollow one. Do you agree with what the comments say? Don't forget to leave yours down below. Now let's read the first update. Update. Am I the idiot for telling my mom that I will respect my dad's girlfriend more than my stepdad? This is not a very exciting update, but a lot of the people have shown me love and support in this community. Also, I need to address one thing. Many people criticized my dad for being an alcoholic. Well, he is not an alcoholic. He hasn't drank in 6 years. Yes, I did mention that he drowned his pain in alcohol when my mom cheated and after the divorce, but he stopped when he saw me trying to clean up his vomit. I know he was wrong. But he has done literally everything to make it up to me. He went to rehab and threw away all the alcoholic drinks in the house. He went to therapy and worked hard on his career. He even got me to therapy. He has apologized for his toxic behavior, and also he tried his best to keep our family together. He has always made an open space for me to express my feelings. I feel safe with him, I trust him. He never bad-mouthed my mother in front of me. Yes, he still suffers from anxiety, but he has it under control. I hated watching his and our lives getting uprooted. So, I don't think it is fair for you guys to blame my dad, only when he changed for me. He came clean. He stopped being an alcoholic. But say this to me, can my mother undo her infidelity? Also, I know their marriage had problems, but was cheating the right thing for her to do? And I haven't mentioned a major thing, that is my stepdad and my dad used to be friends, until the discovery of my mom's infidelity. He cut him off his life too. So yeah, you can imagine the pain both me and my dad went through. But I am proud of him for keeping his head straight. So, now the update, I talked to my dad and arranged therapy with my old therapist. I also suggested that we need family therapy as well. My dad fully supported me and said he will look into it. Lastly, I called my mom to say sorry, but instead my stepdad picked it up. I asked for my mom, and he said that mom has locked herself in their bedroom because she is pissed. My mom has this habit that whenever she is mad she locks herself in a room. I asked why, he said that they had a fight about my dad. Basically, my mom had a hint that my dad was dating someone a few weeks ago, when she saw him at the local market with his girlfriend. At that time, I knew he had a girlfriend, but didn't tell mom. She took the liberty to track her on Facebook. I don't know how she got her ID. My stepdad has caught her several times looking at my dad's girlfriend. There were pictures of dad and her too. So, their argument was that my mom was basically obsessed with my dad's girlfriend and has been stalking her. My stepdad said it's best that I do not speak to her for a while, because she clearly has some issues of her own. Well, I don't know what to say. Someone told me she was jealous that my dad moved on. This could just be it. I may or may not post any further updates. So, until then, see you guys. I will be in therapy working things out on my own. Edit. For F's sake people, I am really getting tired of people messaging me and commenting that my dad was a deadbeat dad who used me as a nurse. Some of you are so cruel that you guys think that my mom made the right choice by cheating on him and leaving him. To you, I have nothing else to say. You guys are just a bunch of triggered owls who only want to blame the victim here. No, my dad was not alcoholic throughout his life. It only happened when he confronted my mom for her affair. It only lasted for like a year. And no, he didn't make me clean his vomit. I saw him covered in it, so I cleaned him myself and then he woke up and saw me. I don't know how many times I have to repeat it. That was the first and last time it happened. You guys only see this part. But there is so much you don't know. He was the best dad I could ask for, and I wouldn't trade it just because one time I had to clean him up. I don't care now. Because my dad has cleaned up my vomit numerous times when I was sick and he did it without a complaint. I cannot believe you guys are so pathetic that you are only fixated on that part, and not the part where he actually cleaned himself up and made a better place for me. He was not a deadbeat or abusive in any way. Deadbeat dads don't put their daughters to therapy and fight hard for their custody. Wow, apparently a lot of people were focused on the bad times OP's dad went through after the divorce, rather than the cheating itself. And OP didn't like that at all. Well, from the post, OP's dad didn't seem abusive to me, just someone broken, who had his downs and lows and then picked himself up. But it looks like some people had different opinions. And, from the post, what did you think about OP's dad? Oh, and your mom is a piece of work, OP. She cheats on the guy, marries his friend, destroys his self-esteem, heart, and family, and now she's jealous because he's finally moving on years later? What the hell? Did she want him to spend the rest of his life pining for her? Is that it? Because if so, she's the one who needs therapy. But, if she is unhappy with her marriage, and was rethinking it, and was going to try to go back to your dad, when she found out he is dating again. It must have been a surprise, but it still doesn't justify her actions to you. But I still think she needs therapy anyway. Oh, and now let's read what OP replied to the comments. I'm glad you're going to be working this out with a therapist, 'cause you're not responsible for your mom's behavior. She is jealous of your dad moving on, and he should. If she truly expected him to sit round pining for her, then that's her problem that she needs to work out with a therapist herself, instead of locking herself in her room like a stroppy teenager. I am afraid to ask her since she stalked a woman who my dad is only dating for a few months. Heck, even I haven't seen her social media that much. Your mom is insane. She can't deal with someone making your dad happy, a younger woman no less. I guess the other side wasn't so green for her after all. Just wash your hands of it, and wait for her to contact you. I don't know. But she seemed really happy with my stepdad. They have a kid together, my half-brother. I'm glad you are getting therapy, and great job calling your mom to try to apologize. As for your mom, I'm sorry she's behaving like a jilted lover. I'm pretty sure it's because, while it's okay for her to move on, to be happy with her affair partner, she honestly expected him to die alone and with a broken heart. A bit of an oxymoron, but that's the gist. So she's allowed her happiness, but he isn't. Now she's literally cyber-stalking his new girlfriend, like your dad is the one cheating on her. No offense, but your mom needs therapy. Hard individual therapy. Do not do family therapy until she is in therapy to fix her own issues first, or it will backfire. I wanted to suggest it on the phone call, but I did tell my stepdad that my mom needs therapy. He didn't say he would look into it, just thanked me. And what did you guys think of OP's first update? Were you surprised by OP's mom's attitude toward her ex-husband's new girlfriend? Or were you already expecting this? Oh, and are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know if a new video is out. Now let's continue on to the second update. Update 2. Am I the idiot for telling my mom that I will respect my dad's girlfriend more than my stepdad? A lot of you have messaged me and asked to keep you guys updated. So, before I update, I am so grateful for those of you who have came to show support for me and my dad. I have read or tried to read your messages and comments. And honestly, those positive messages really got to me. I was not upset by the trolls. Also, I had beef with a few of them too, but if I ever said something bad then please forgive me. I am still little. Anyways, back to the update. Well, from my last post you guys can see that I have in fact been cheated on. It is funny, because in my first post I mentioned that the last time I had a fight with my stepdad I told him I hope his son gets cheated on, so he knows how that feels. And now here, I am losing my boyfriend and my friend, because they stabbed me in the back. I guess it is karma. The breakup is still fresh in my mind. I still cry sometimes thinking about it. But I am glad I have my other friends and obviously my dad with me. So I hope I will be fine. And yes, I did end up going to Disneyland with my dad and we had a lot of fun. But my dad ended up becoming sick after we came back for a little while. He is better now. I guess he had some bad food on the way. Otherwise, he is fine. I finally spoke to my mom. She came to visit me at my dad's house. My dad rarely sees her. So he was also shocked to see her. She looked a bit out of the place, as if she was entering Narnia. She wanted to talk to me and my dad. Dad went inside his room to give us some privacy to talk. Then we sat down. She apologized to me for acting so irrationally and never taking my feelings into account. I don't know what happened, but I asked her if she ever felt any guilt for cheating on my dad. She cried, and said that she has always been guilty of how things ended between my dad and her. She didn't go much into details, but at that time my dad and her were having some marriage problems. She and dad wanted to work things out, but she was still feeling empty. Then my stepdad came and she found an escape from her life with him. She said she was selfish. She wanted to have it all, but she knew someday her lies would be caught and it did. She mentioned that she and dad have grown distant, because of the affair. She does regret it and wishes she could have handled it better. She has spent 7 years or more with my stepdad, but deep down she still had feelings for my dad. Some days she even wakes up and guilt washes over her. She regrets ever starting the affair. The problem was not my dad or my stepdad. The problem was her. And she knows she has messed up a lot. I also opened up to her about my struggles in life. How I had to deal with the downfall of their marriage and how it has affected me over the last few years. I wish she had just ended things in a good way, rather than introducing a man that has become the bane of my existence. I wish she hadn't pushed me to accept him, knowing the pain he caused both me and my dad, and he doesn't seem to feel any remorse. She cried heavily this time and said she knows now how wrong it was, but she thought that if I accepted my stepdad, then the affair wouldn't look so bad on her. I wanted to tell her that she was stupid and that's not how it works. I asked her why she was so obsessed with Layla, dad's girlfriend. She told me that ever since their divorce, there has always been a little spark of hope that someday her and dad would be together. She knows it is foolish for her to think that, but her subconscious mind was telling her that she and dad are the end game. But learning that he has moved on and started dating just freaked her out. I told her that is BS, because she was the one who married her affair partner and went on to have a family with him. It is so disgusting and immoral for her to even think that, especially after she was the one who cheated and left. If she still thinks that she has a chance with dad, then she is either delusional or simply stupid. She doesn't get to dictate how others feel and doesn't get to control what I feel. She says she understands and has been a mess for a long time. She opened up about her own marital situation, which is not good at the moment. I also shared my story of being cheated on. She tried to hug me and said it will be okay. It just made me angry. I told her I don't need her sympathy now, especially in matters of cheating. I do love her as a mother. I am grateful that she has cared for me and especially been honest with me about this situation, but I do not want to talk to her now. I want to go low contact until she sorts things that are messed up with her. She needs therapy and she only should focus on my half-brother. After our conversation ended, my mom and dad talked in his room. I didn't try to eavesdrop or try to listen, so I don't know what they talked about, but after coming out of the room, my mom looked very defeated. After that we talked a little and she bid us goodbye. I did tell her that I want her in my graduation and other big events, but I want to have some boundaries when it comes to my stepdad. So, that closes mom chapter for a while. And yes, my dad knows about my mom's meltdown and that's why he wanted to talk to her in private. I don't think this issue is solved here. I honestly laughed a little, because my dad and my mom have not been in contact for a long time and he should know. On the bright side, I did get to meet Layla's kids. Ever since my dad became sick, she has been coming frequently to cook or clean. Sometimes she would bring her kids and I do enjoy playing with them. I always wished to have siblings and now I have 3. Hopefully this will be my last update. I honestly thank anyone who has given me some good advice and comments. I hope you guys have a lovely life. And thank you so much for the support. Good on your mom for finally looking at this from another perspective and accepting and apologizing for your experience rather than focusing solely on her own. I think going low contact with her makes sense though. Just because she's finally apologized and seems to realize the magnitude of what she did, doesn't mean you have to forgive her. And, she doesn't seem ready for a real relationship, if she's still holding out hope for something to happen with your dad. Best wishes OP. I don't want her to only focus on me, because she has bigger problems in her own marriage now. I am fine, I have people here. So, I shouldn't be her first priority now. Wow, this really took a turn. After all these years, and the lying, cheating and the heartbreak, OP's mom still hoped to get back together to her OP's dad? Wow, just wow. But it's good that you and her talked, without shouting and fighting, and now you know how to move forward. I'm glad she realized she needs to work on herself too. And if you think it's better to go low contact with her and stepdad, it's a big decision, but you have to do what's best for you. And I'm so sorry you're going through this terrible pain right now, OP. Even more so, be cheated on by 2 people who are so important to you. Who you trust so much. Good God. Your ex-boyfriend and your ex-friend are a-holes, big a-holes. As I said before, cheating sucks, and people who cheat are awful. I don't care if they are saints in every other aspect of their lives, they suck. Well, I really hope things get better from now on, OP. Good luck. And that's it? What did you guys think of this update? What did you think about this whole situation? What would have you done differently if you were OP? Or you would do the same as her? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.